All right.
Yeah, we are here. Another XAM talk.
Episode number 2.
Yes. We are now on Spotify and Google Podcasts. I don't know how
Yeah.
we achieve that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So soon. Next, we're going to TV.
Yeah,
If
oh yeah, we're
possible.
going to TV next. We're going to
Yeah,
have like a late night talk show.
exactly.
We're going to be like David Letterman, but it's two of us.
Right, get some celebrities on there.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for it.
I mean, I feel like it's about time. It's about time we get to that big
You know
fame.
what? Speaking about celebrities, let's talk about cancel culture.
Oh, yes, of course. The thing that we mentioned we would be talking about last episode, we'd be talking about today.
Yep. It's going to get real juicy.
It is. I have a big story, but we're going to save that for a couple minutes.
Okay.
First off, we're going to talk about just it in general. And since this was really your idea, how about you kick us off?
Um, which I guess we can start off with the definition of cancel, or what it is to be canceled.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, personally, I never really understood the concept, but from what I think it is basically someone's past gets brought up. We all do things in our past, bunch of crazy stuff. We're all guilty of that. But basically, as a celebrity, um, I mean, even everyday people, like as you know, like sometimes your past gets brought up, and then people attack you for it, and basically your career could be ruined, or relationships can be ruined just off of your past. It's crazy.
Yeah, it
Now,
really is.
yeah.
Um, well, you go
So
ahead.
what's your opinion on it? Do you think it's a good thing, or is it dumb? Like, what do you think about it?
I think it's a good thing in some ways. In some ways, it's not. I mean, for example, R. Kelly was pissing on children. I mean, he deserves to be canceled
Yeah,
for that.
it was.
I mean, come on, nobody wants to
But see, that's the thing, right?
R.
Without
Kelly
cancel
around.
culture, if people aren't constantly looking for like stuff to cancel people for, we wouldn't know. Like, we wouldn't know about these situations. Like, I never would have thought R. Kelly was pissing on kids. I never would have thought. Because,
Uh,
we all used to listen. I mean, at least me, I used to listen to his music. Never did I think I was listening to
a kid pisser.
that kind of person. And you just never know, right? People are so um, unexpected. You never know what people do behind closed doors.
Did
Also, you know what? I think
what?
that's all the more reason why cancel culture is like, I mean, it makes people seem like they have to be perfect. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're doing something like criminal worthy, like it should be brought to light. But if it's like you said a word or two, or just said some things in your past, and if you're not still acting like that, then what's the problem you know
Yeah, you got a fair point. There is a recent example of cancel culture. Charlie D'Amelio. Yeah,
yeah, I heard about that.
yeah. So I think this is a great thing to bring up right now. So apparently, she said that she would like to have 100 million followers. Um,
Yeah.
Now, here I changed sides on this. I was against her, but then I really thought into it, and I'm like, you know what? She's like what 16, 17. She doesn't
Right,
know what
man.
she's talking about. I mean, I was just
Yeah.
17 earlier this year, and I'm a much wiser person than I was when I was 17, even though I've been 18 for
Yeah.
eight months almost.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't know what she was doing. It's not her fault. Now, her
Yeah,
sister
but
at the
they gotta learn,
snails.
huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
why would anybody want snails?
Exactly.
It's just such a weird concept. And you
Mm.
got all these weird grown men just coming at her. I mean, personally, I don't think his followers of mine or subscribers of mine or whatever type of following it is as numbers. I think of them as people.
Right.
That's what I do this for. Is I do it for people. I don't do this for myself.
Oh, yo, that reminds me of a TikTok I saw recently. It was this guy saying, if I was to get 300 views on a video, that doesn't seem like a lot. But if you put 300 people, like if they all came in the room to watch you, it'd feel like a lot. It'd be a lot, of people in one
Yeah.
room. So it's just crazy. Like when he said that, because I feel like if we looked at it more that way, then we'd probably appreciate like the views that we get or the likes we get because in reality, even 20 likes or 20 views is really a lot of people watching you or liking your stuff. It's and I mean especially 90 million. She
Ooh.
was when did she make this video? She was
He,
at like 95.
I think she was at 99, and she was saying that she wanted to have 100.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Certainly.
So but another thing, right, is I feel like I haven't actually seen the video, but knowing her, it was probably a joke. Like I'm pretty sure she's grateful for 99 million people. Sure, she like because I mean, obviously it's a big goal, 100 million. Like who doesn't want to hit that? So I'm pretty sure she was just joking and just saying, I want to hit 100 million.
All right, all right. Here's a fun fact. The population of Australia is only 24.99 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So she has fans worldwide.
She's more followers than the amount of people in Australia.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
In
I actually
Canada,
thought it would be bigger.
Canada has 37 million.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
I almost said my fellow Canadians. I'm not a Canadian, but for everybody who lives in Canada, I made a TikTok called Canada Man, and I gotta tell you, I really did it for those
Yeah,
Canadians.
I was gonna bring that up. Like, you sure? You just got a Canadian flag just in your room?
I also have a Spain flag and I have a Germany flag.
Why?
You know what? I can't answer that. I'm not entirely sure, but I own them.
I have no clue myself. I mean,
Listen,
what are you? What? Wait, we're getting off the point.
I know, we are.
We're getting off the point. Cancel culture.
Yeah.
Charlie D'Amelio.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I just kind of feel bad for her because she's young. She doesn't really fully understand this, and
Exactly.
I've been like doing this type of thing longer than she has. I think she's been doing it for maybe a year and a half, maybe two. I've been doing
That's
this for next year will be 7 years that I've been doing this.
oh wow.
Yeah. And that's a long time, You really get a lot of understanding when you're doing this type of stuff.
Mm.
A lot of perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it too well. Like, because at one point I did do like YouTube and I was on social media, but I mean, you know me now. I'm not on social media like that,
Yeah.
and so I don't really know what it's like to be an influencer like that and having to censor what I say. And I mean, it's just hard. Like, I I would think because you have to almost be like perfect. It seems like when you're an influencer, even if you don't have that many followers. Like, in fact, if anything, it's probably worse when you don't have. I mean, I don't know. I think in any situation, you just got to be worry about what you say when you have followers. Because at
Yeah.
some point, think about it. If you blow up, it's gonna come back one way or another.
Yeah. To my point I was just about to make is like all these people that said a bunch of bad stuff on Twitter or whatever that eventually gets them canceled in the future. None of them thought that they were going to be big or like big in any type of way.
Exactly.
Like I always watch what I say no matter what, even though am I that big? No, not really. But I want to make sure that I'm true to who I am, and I don't want to bring anything toxic out there. So that's just why there's nothing really like that of me out there. Now, has there been in the past? Then there certainly has. But before we get to that, we have an ad break right now. Hey, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It is free. It is what I am using to post on my podcast right now. It's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, we are back.
That was perfectly placed. You know, in like TV shows, it gets really good and just they throw the ad in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfectly.
Yeah.
But
I love how we're just, you know, we're just so proud of an ad break that I just put in right there. I gotta say, yeah, everybody watching this podcast now and listening, you know, everybody be like, well, wow, they're just really excited because this one dude just inserted an ad right in a really great place.
Hey, bro, I bet they're probably like, wow, this is really turning into something. Got ads now?
Yeah, I mean, what a smooth transition.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, before we get to my story, is there any other famous cancel culture attempts that you know of that you like to say?
Not that I really think is noteworthy.
Yeah, I can't think of anything really. Oh, actually, no. I got one.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know Johnny Depp?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. So, his wife tried to say he like abused her or whatever, and he was getting cut out of a bunch of movies and whatever. You know, nobody really wants him anymore. But here's the thing about that: he's not the one that was abusing; it was her.
It was her.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird though? I could have sworn I heard like she complained about this before in the past, and it wasn't really talked about that much. So it's weird that it's coming. Like, how did this even happen? Like, did she just post on her?
I don't even remember, honestly. All I know is I know what she did to Depp.
What'd she do?
She cut off a piece of his finger.
Oh, what the?
And she shit in his bed.
I'm sorry. I have to laugh.
I mean, I wish I was joking, but I'm not.
That's just...
And
all right.
Here's the worst part. So, I don't know if I ever asked if you watch Harry Potter or not.
I actually do not.
Okay. Well, there's this prequel trilogy, and the main bad guy is played by Johnny Depp. He is not going to be in the third movie. However,
I didn't know Johnny Depp was in there.
However, his ex-wife, the one who abused him, is going to be in Aquaman 2.
You know what? And that kind of reminds me of a situation. And this might seem like very, I don't know, this might be a little controversial to speak about. I mean, I guess it's always controversial, but this reminds me of like Chris Brown and Rihanna. Because like recently I saw this documentary of Chris Brown. He explains like what made the situation occur. And it's kind of the same situation. Like Rihanna was abusing him first. Now, granted, she wasn't as crazy. Like she hit him, but she didn't like cut his finger and shit in his bed, you know. But like, it was still enough to provoke him. And I think the fact that we're canceling Chris Brown now, I mean, he beat her up bad. So I mean, I think he definitely should be like held accountable for that. But so should she, you know. And just like this Johnny Depp situation, like although he didn't do anything wrong, I'm just saying like if he's going to be held accountable, they need to hold her accountable too. Now I don't know if he's spoken out against her. Has he?
I think he has. Yeah, he must have, because he had proof on her, and then that's how everybody knew it was her. Because originally everyone was attacking him, but then they realized, oh wait a minute, it's not him, it's her.
Oh. Yeah, I guess he must have then. So yeah, in that case, they should both be getting attacked, but I don't think that's... I mean...
I don't think Johnny actually did it.
It's not... I'm pretty sure they're both going to get attacked regardless, because that's just how it works. Like, you know, you're going to have fans, even if they're not in the wrong, you're going to have fans of one person attacking the other, and that's always how it's going to go. But I feel like she should be, like, taken out of movies too, and,
yeah,
you know, like, that's a bad influence, like, just to have that in Hollywood, like, that's not good.
Especially in a superhero movie.
Right, bro. Like,
because people look up to superheroes.
Exactly.
Well, now that we've talked about general cancel culture, we're about to get into the big juice. Um,
All right.
I don't know if I've ever openly talked about this situation since it happened. I think basically on YouTube, I basically just like, you know what, I'm going to pretend this has never happened.
Right.
Um, so I'm only going to say her name once, and then I'm going to refer to her as like something else. But
Okay.
there is this girl named that's going to be bleeped. Just said that. I don't know why I bothered saying it if I'm going to have her be something else. We're going to call her Box.
Box. Okay.
Box.
All
All
right.
right. So there's this girl named Box. This all started in 6th grade because I broke up with my girlfriend because she cheated on me. That's a pretty deep thing to get into. I mean, it's all deep rooted. So there's this girl named Box I saw. I think she was in my language arts class. And this was basically a rebound, but not for dating. It's like a rebound crush. And I liked her for several years, from like halfway through 6th grade until end of 7th, something like that. I liked Box a little too much.
Hey, bro, I feel you. My crush lasted from like 6th grade to probably 10th. But get back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I think I liked her. I just liked her too much, and which is the thing. I made so many mistakes in the whole period of time. I asked this kid named Jimmy. I don't know if I should bleep that. You know what? I just won't. I don't need to.
What's his name? Really, Jimmy?
Bleep his name. Do you remember him?
No, I don't even know a Jimmy.
He was kind of short. This was 6th grade, so it was a real long time ago.
Yeah.
But I got
you
him.
probably say the name because who's gonna remember?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't even know what happened to him, and we were friends anyway, so I can say his name. But we had, I don't know if you remember the picnics back in middle school that we had, but I had him tell her maybe 10 times that I liked her. Now that is very, very excessive. Honestly, I think if I had somebody do that, I think I'd just have them say it one time, like a sane person.
Wait, how did this even occur? Like, how did you manage to do it 10 times? I could have once or twice if I'm bold enough, you know.
I don't know how I got him to tell her 10 times. He just did it.
Oh, he told her.
Yeah, he told her. I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her once. One of her friends talked to me when we got back to the school, and we sat in a room for like 10 minutes, and then it was time for everybody to go. She's like, "Do you like her?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And that's kind of how that went. End of the school year. I got her to sign my yearbook because I got somebody else to hand it to her. A lot of strange stuff. Keep in mind, I'm still heartbroken at this point. Because of my past relationship, which I will get into at some point. Today, probably not, but eventually in this podcast. So this girl Box, 7th grade we were friends, which was a weird surprise, because in 6th grade I think she was like weirded out by me, and she's like, "Oh, this guy's okay." So we were friends. I hated all of her boyfriends just because they were dating her, and I managed to get her to break up with every single one of them somehow.
I mean, you got to tell us about that too.
I don't know how I did it. I really don't. I think I managed to get her to break up with at least 4 guys, and I don't know how. Like, I didn't talk to her and say, "Hey, I need you to break up."
I mean, to be fair, it was middle school.
It was middle school.
You didn't have to say much just to cause some.
But
drama.
Yeah, relationships in middle school. You're probably like, do they really mean anything? And again, again, as a person who dated someone in 6th grade who cheated on him, I think the girl cheated on me. I think me and her had a really strong relationship going, And being completely honest, it was better than the other ones I've had. Until the end, when I figured out she cheated on me. But anyway, now back to the story about Box.
All right.
Why did I decide on Box?
Yeah, see, I don't even know. There's no like correlation. The names don't even sound
I
similar.
don't know why I decided on Box.
Hey, definitely won't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so yeah, eighth grade, well, end of 7th grade into 8th grade, mostly all of 8th grade, is where everything turned around. I turned into a piece of shit. Maybe I always was a piece of shit until,
It's the heartbreak. It's the heartbreak.
I mean, yeah, I guess, that's what people could say to make me feel a little better, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I think I was a piece of shit. So, I got to try to map it together. I know I had an in-school suspension for messaging her and harassing her and saying a bunch of shit. I made a fake account.
Wait, where did the beef start?
Where did it start? I was mad that she wouldn't love me.
Ah, man.
That is how that went. So, yeah, Box wouldn't love me. I felt mad at Box. This is, again, end of 7th grade. I think I sent her a message to have sex with me or something. It was an anonymous message. So you
mean to tell me you couldn't tell her that you liked her? I mean, did you? Or it was only, like, through text? I know you didn't say it to her in person, but, like, through text?
I don't think I ever did.
Oh, yeah, you just skipped that completely.
She knew that I did. She knew that I did.
Right, so there's really no point. True, there was no point in saying.
Yeah. Now, this was an anonymous message. She didn't know. She didn't know who sent it. But she did, because you have any idea what Ask FM is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so basically for people who don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't, because it was not popular at all.
Yeah, not much.
It's a thing where you can ask anonymous questions. So that's the first social media I ever found her on. This was 7th grade, back when we were friends. In 7th grade, we didn't talk much, but we at least said a paragraph worth of words to each other one day a week. Like speaking, not like texting. I don't really know what the speaking equivalent of a paragraph would be, but that's what it was. So, yeah.
I mean, like, you said a paragraph a week?
Of words, yeah. Not like of texting, but like of speaking.
Oh, so like 6 sentences in total?
Yeah, I said about 6 sentences to her, like a week.
Oh, that's not much.
That's not much, but it's more than I've had with some
it's
people.
More than I've had with my crushes, so I can't.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But, yeah, so I said, hey, have sex with me or something, anonymously. Which, again, not a good thing to do. But the dumb part, it was obviously me. Because, again, the Ask FM thing was the first social media of Boxes that I found. So I contacted her about 3 hours before hey, it's Xanthus, what's up? Which is dumb, because you're supposed to, I guess it is a question, but whatever. And you could see it was me because it wasn't anonymous, because it had my name next to it. And I asked her this anonymous question a couple hours later, and nobody else has asked her in between. So it's like, yeah, it's him. So that's where it fell apart. I think it was because of I'm going to bleep that name, but it was really because of him. He kind of like forced my hand. He was such an asshole. Like,
what do you do?
Because I mentioned I liked her. This was before I was talking to my friend Matthew in class, and I'm like, yeah, I like her, and me and him, this is back when me and him were best friends, me and Matthew. But I was talking to him about liking Box, and he just came in, and he was upset because I liked her, and he's like, I'm on the verge of dating her and whatever. Yeah, that's what set it off, because him just being in my way the entire time, just kind of made me hate her. I'm like, you know what? I don't love her anymore. And then it started the summer of hell.
Ooh.
This is where I just messaged her things, and I went after her friends, I went after her. I don't remember specifics, but it was a lot. I pretended to be her friend Vaughn, and I messaged her. Surprisingly, she believed it for 2 weeks, and then
That's
she realized, oop, yeah, it's not her. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. All this was mostly on Ask FM for at least 4 months, and then it moved to Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, where all the bad things
Yeah,
happen. That
that's
Twitter
where
account has been deleted, by the way. Not because of the tweets, all that stuff. It's because something odd happened earlier this year.
That was probably part of the reason, but yeah,
Well, no, it wasn't part of the reason. It's because
majority of the reason.
my Twitter earlier this year was for some reason deleted by Twitter. I don't know why.
Yeah, actually, no, that was Facebook. Never mind.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I eventually moved to Twitter. I made this whole big group chat at one point. It was all her friends. I'm gonna have to do a big bleep here, but here's everybody that was in it. For you, so you know. I don't know. Maybe I should make. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
No, it's just,
I'm gonna bleep all these names, and then I'm gonna make new names for them. Anyway.
see, if they watch it and it's too, but see, that's the thing though. If they watch it, they'll know because it's about them.
Yeah.
So,
I know. Hey, I know their no, but I'm not saying their names. And I'm gonna say this right now. I deeply apologize to everybody involved in this.
right, it's out of respect to them. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go with Gravy.
Right, just do like girl 1, girl 2.
Yeah, girl 1, girl 2, and girl 3, and box.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3 box. I almost named one of them Gravy. I don't know why.
Hey, bro, just as long as we know.
This podcast is gonna be much longer than the first one.
Yeah, because we've been doing a lot. I have to do a lot of cutting.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
We've gone off track just a little bit, a lot of times.
How long has this been?
So, girl 1, me and her were friends for a bit because I convinced her it was this other dude saying this stuff because I made this other profile. I forget what I named him. I don't know, but his picture was like, they reverse image searched it. I think girl 2 reverse image searched it, and found, this is Tumblr guy or something. Let me look that up. If I can get Tumblr guy, if I can actually find the picture, I'm gonna put Tumblr guy in the.
This is Screams 2012. XFM, Twitter, Tumblr.
Well, this wasn't 2012 though. This is 2015.
2015.
Yeah, this is when this was. This was eighth grade, just before 8th grade into 8th grade.
Oh no way. Okay.
I actually can't find the picture. I think it's removed. But yeah, just your stereotypical, will probably cheat on you, dude, is what the picture looked like. So, yeah, it was black and white, all this stuff. I was talking to all of them on Ask FM. Again, eventually moved to Twitter. We had a big group chat. They all got mad at me. Then we move into actual 8th grade. First week, I think it was the Friday of the first week. We started on Monday. Friday, I walk up to her table, and I feel really bad because her friend was in a powered wheelchair at the time because she broke her leg or something. You might know who I mean, but maybe not.
No, I actually don't.
Okay, I'm gonna have to bleep this too. You remember?
Does she still go to our school now?
Well, no, because we graduated, but.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like did she go to F? Oh, might have to bleep that out too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a mess. Okay. Power of editing, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I walk up. I did this twice. I did this on the Friday, and then I did it on the Monday after. So I just walk up to her table, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna lay into this woman right now. I just cuss her out. For what, I have no idea. I have no right to do this. There's no reason I did this, but I did it. And yeah, I walk up to that table. I cuss her out. I do all this. I say about every single word in the book. Yeah, and I can tell she was uncomfortable, and she had every right to be. And
Yeah.
the good part about it, well, there is no good part about it, but back in the time, the good part about it for me was she and her friend, Box and her friend, were the only people sitting there at the time because Box's friend was in a powered wheelchair, so she had to go there early. So I just said some stuff, and then when I saw the dudes coming, I'm just like, okay, I gotta go to my table of people that are equally shitty as me, and that's what happened. I did that Friday and Monday, and I think about a week after the second time I did it, her whole table came to mine, because, see, if there just wasn't indoor recess that day, I would have been safe. But you know what? I wouldn't have any other way. This is clearly the way it was meant to be.
Right.
I think this whole situation, I'm not even near done yet, which is the thing. I'm going to try to speed this up so we get done in 5 minutes. But I think this whole thing was equally both of our fault. Maybe not equally. Maybe it leans a little more in my direction, I'll say. But we both handled it so terribly.
Right, because another thing, too, is, like, as a result of, like, everything you did, she did some stuff that was pretty bad, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, which is what I'm about to say here. Her whole table got up and swore me and would not let me leave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everybody was there. One of the dudes, which, what should I call him? I don't know what to call him. I'll call him Crackhead. Yeah, and, well, who at my table? I forget who it was at my table that said that I
just said a name. I don't know if you heard it.
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah, I said, because you said Crackhead, so I'm thinking, like, what's that sound close to?
No, that wasn't, he wasn't there.
Okay.
I don't think he was in our school in 8th grade.
No, I think he was there in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
I remember, but if you didn't see him, he wasn't involved, obviously.
Yeah, he wasn't anywhere near me. But yeah, they all were all at my table, and I don't know if I ever told you this, but I played Sims 3 on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's the only thing I heard about the situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you do know this part.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I just punched my computer accidentally.
It'd be like that.
Anyway, so yeah, I played Sims 3. And she was in it. Box was in it with me and some dude that was made as her father. Now, there was a big lie going around, which I never quite understood about this whole situation. I just had her in there respectively. I don't even think I had me and her kiss.
They said like you had like babies with her.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. We never did. If I still had the footage, I'd prove it. That we never did, but I deleted it all. I didn't even delete it all the time. I think I deleted it like 2 years ago. I'm just like, I don't want this shit anymore. It's gone. But yeah, like, I think I was happy because I didn't want to have 3 beds anymore. So I somehow got us to start dating. But I don't even think I ever had us kiss. Our characters did have kids, but I renamed the character and made the character look different.
Oh.
So that's when that happened. But I don't think anybody cared at that point because this was like 3 months after people.
Right, it was later on.
Yeah. So eventually I had to go to guidance, and girl 1, 2, and Box were in there. We all talked. Girl 2 was all content with it. I think I meant girl 2 last. Box was in there first. She looked so scared of me. It was insane. Again, not surprised. I would have been scared of me too. I mean, that kid deserved to be in prison.
Oh, wow.
You know, okay, I'm gonna skip over. There's not really much more to. Well, there's more to say, but there's nothing in this
Right,
timeline
like I
much.
think yeah, because the point was right. Because we were talking about how this stuff that happened in the past with you and Box basically kind of came back recently or last year, or we thought.
Did we?
Yeah, like remember it was like I don't.
I have a lot of things on my
Hey,
plate, so I forget things a lot. So you gotta remind me.
yeah, I'm just thinking of like yeah, her.
Oh,
For
her.
example.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was weird.
that's a story for another time. But
Yeah,
let me just quickly say there was this girl last year that really, really, really wanted to be friends with me, and then she randomly said that she didn't want to be friends anymore, and then it ended.
yeah, it's like she was like connecting a face
It
to
was so
something.
weird. It was
Yeah,
so
that is
weird.
weird.
She couldn't have possibly known of the box situation because how much young, like she was a freshman and I was a senior.
Oh yeah, there's no way actually.
So
Now that I
yeah,
think
in
about
in eighth grade she would have been in fifth
it.
grade.
I mean, but yeah. But see,
Anyway,
that's the thing, though. I guess we have to leave that for a whole different episode because it makes
yeah,
no sense.
yeah,
If
it
it's not
makes
connected to that,
it,
then
it,
I
it
don't
makes
know.
like it makes like none. So okay, I'm gonna try to quickly wrap this. But so basically, I got called to the guidance a lot from September to December, and I had an in-school suspension, which basically I sat in a conference room all day by myself, which wasn't bad at all, by the way. Like I
Hmm.
just got alone time and I sat at a table. Now, if I could listen to music, it would have been great, but I didn't have a phone.
You didn't have a phone.
No, I didn't. So I
You
just
never said
sat there
Wi-Fi?
and sat there and sat there all day. And this work I was getting was pretty easy. So I say, how long was the school day? 7 hours or so. And I only had to do schoolwork in there for about maybe 3 of those hours. So just a lot of sitting. And yeah, I
Wow.
mean, there was something wrong with me back then. So I had a lot to think about.
This man was in prison in school.
I tell you, school is basically prison anyway. Like the school system needs to be changed.
That is a great point, and the fact that there's in-school detention, it's like the solitary confinement
Yeah,
of school. But
I feel
yeah,
like
anyway, there's him.
we're just slowly inventing more episodes to do. Just throughout this, everyone watching this is like, get to the point already. I'm
Yeah,
like,
bro. If you're
I'm
watching
trying.
this is like a trip, like, because we're going here to there, and I don't even know where we're at.
Yeah, this is what the inside of our minds are like, people.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
just bounce around from thing to thing with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, you should see our conversations. It's pretty much the same. But
Facts. So yeah, so I get called on the guidance, get a bunch of in school suspension. For some reason, I don't know why. My dad's gonna be watching this, but for some reason I told my dad I killed her.
ooh, uh,
Box.
no, I was just saying, wow,
Oh, I thought you said who. Yeah, for some reason I told my dad I killed her. I don't know why.
wow.
She's not dead.
You're just speaking it into like hopefully. Well, let's not go there. Yeah.
What? Hold on,
Anyway,
hold on. Now I'm starting to think there's something wrong going up in your head with you.
nah,
Whoa.
I'm tired, bro. I think
Okay.
that's what it is.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
gee, I thought I was really, really crazy at the time, and now, I'm okay.
Nah, I have nothing against her. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
no hate.
Actually, well, actually, no, I'll talk about it at the end because that's how things really close off with me and her. But basically, I talked to her uncle on Facebook in December. Was it December? I think it might have been end of November. Man, this was. I think I talked to him on Facebook almost exactly 5 years ago, to the day.
Wait, did he reach out to you or did you reach out to
I
him?
reached out to him. I thought that the uncle was her dad. I'm like, hey, your daughter is very, very mean,
Ah,
or whatever.
wow, it was just a
Whatever I
different
did.
level. It was
So
crazy.
yeah, that was a ride. Uh, I got in a lot of trouble for that, and you know what? We had a agreement to not speak for 6 months, which
Mm.
started in January of 2016, and I did not speak to her for years, several years, which ended a couple
I
months
have a
ago. I
question.
don't remember specifically what day or month, but I made an apology. I finally apologized, which I'm like,
Oh,
that's the right thing to do. She didn't respond, and I said in the thing, so she didn't. I said like, hey, you don't need to. Let me see if
but
I
you
can
think it's
actually
rude?
find it and summarize what was said here. I actually can't find it. Oh, here it is. 20 weeks ago, I sent this. I was like, I don't respect your response. I'd just like you to read this. I was a bad person when I caused all the problems I did 5 years ago. And I was like, several times a week, I wish I could go back and stop myself from what happened, but I can't. So, yeah.
Mm. But see, that's the thing, right? You didn't have to be. Well, were you canceled? Like, I don't. Because what I was gonna say is like, you don't really have to be canceled to learn a lesson. Like, you can just grow over time. Because people
I've
change over time.
I definitely think I've grown quite a lot. I'm not the same person I was. You
But
know,
do you think that's a result of like what happened between you guys, like what she did to you, or just because you learned over time
I think
on
I
the
think I
wrong?
realized how bad of a person I was. Like I
Mm,
realized, wow, I'm like a terrible person, and see my mom cry all through all that. I'm like, man,
dang, bro.
I'm a terrible son. And I just looked myself in the mirror.
Trigger warning.
I didn't mention I didn't mention me attempting suicide several times yet, but well, here you are.
Wow.
Um, I'm gonna have to edit in saying trigger warning before that. But yeah, I attempted to kill myself several
Mm,
times.
wow.
I think it was just in December. I believe it was 3 times or so.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was, and I just wanted to take my life. I'm like, you know what, I'm such a big piece of shit, I can't recover. And that's what I was thinking at the time. And then
Mm,
luckily I've grown since then. And I had my mom tell me earlier this year, she's like, I'm so proud of you, or something along those lines. I'm like, I'm glad I raised such a great son. And
wow, that's a good turn.
in my mind, I'm like, wow, I finally did it. I mean, there are those days, where I still think that I'm a bad person,
Right,
just
right.
because the way I handle things has never been that great. But I
Mm,
always put people before me, which I know you say I shouldn't do, but I'm always scared if I don't do that, I'm going to
right.
revert
You
back
don't want to
to.
go back to the person you were before. I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
I don't think I've told you this much even. I know I've told you
What's
this
that?
story before, but I don't think I've gone in this much detail.
Yeah. What? All the extra stuff like with your mom and
Yeah, I don't think I've told you all this.
yeah, I've never heard that part.
Yeah, it was. I tell you, I I hope to be proud of my children one day.
Right, me too. No, I was just thinking about that, you know, because there's a lot of families who have like children that are bad, like they go out and just act like terrible people. I mean, look at social media. Like you don't want a
Yeah,
kid that's acting like crazy on social media and acting um, a certain way just to. I don't even know why people act the way that they do. I mean, there's a lot of putting other people down on social media, and I don't know where that comes from, but
yeah. I mean,
I
imagine
wouldn't
having
want
like Jake Paul as your son.
right. Like
That's a nightmare.
that's a lot of money, but that's a nightmare.
Well, I'm not talking about like being. I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm having someone that acts like him,
Oh yeah, yeah, it's terrible.
because his parents aren't the best.
I've never,
They're
I've
kind of
never
like
seen
him.
those.
I think his dad's like a womanizer or something. It's a whole thing.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, see, I mean, that's the honestly. Now that I think about it, I don't really know. Like think about how many people do you know that are bad people who grew up in a good household, like their parents are great people, and you don't really know too many people like that, or you can't think of too many.
Yeah, that's
people
the
like that.
thing. So it's like, how did I divert into that?
Right.
I mean, my only reasoning for it is because I was cheated on and it hurt me so bad that I went down this path of just
That's
hatred.
another thing we need to talk about is
Yeah,
how that stuff changes you. Like people don't understand that
definitely.
your environment can change you just as much as the way you grew up. You know, like I mean, like what you experience. I mean,
Definitely, definitely. Like how relationships changes you, I think needs to be our next one.
no, definitely.
Okay. That is what our next one is going to be. Thank you everyone for listening. This has been a very, very great episode in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the way it ended off. There was like a good moral of the story to it. Just
Yeah,
be a good person. Because look what happens in the end.
exactly. I turned everything around for the better. I became not quite the man I not quite the man I want to be. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I still think I got a lot of work to do
Hmm.
on myself, but I'm definitely better than I was. So,
Right. Yeah.
you know, thanks everybody for listening. It's been a real treat. Don't forget that we are sponsored in this episode. Everybody right now, go check out Anchor. All right, go do it. I already mentioned them earlier
Go
in the
do it.
thing, but check out Anchor. Thanks for listening, people.